Sometimes when I'm talking and sometimes when I'm thinking, I have a hard time really being conscious of what's going on, of really processing my thoughts as they come. It seems like they're always moving so fast. And when I speak, I have a hard time slowing down my speech. And I'm trying to keep up with all of the many, many thoughts that are forming in my mind and trying to get them all to come out at one time. And I'm just vomiting words everywhere, and I get lost very easily. I get confused, and I'm like, wait, what was I talking about? Why did I even bring that up? You see, sometimes I'm moving too fast. And I've recently been thinking about this, trying to figure out ways to solve it, to slow down my mind on a daily basis, not just during meditation. I'm pretty good at slowing down my mind or even silencing my mind during times of alone meditation, right? But in my daily life, I'm trying to figure out a way to do this when I'm out in the world, out and about. And I've discovered a little secret with accents, okay? So an accent is something that sort of seems to naturally develop as you grow up and you move and you get situated places. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, I was born in Michigan, and I lived in Michigan until I was about 9 years old, and then I moved to the Carolinas, where everyone talked different than I did. Right? And they used to make fun of me for the way that I talked. But after a few years, they stopped talking about the way I was talking. And then I went back to Michigan to visit my family, and now they say that I talk funny. And they actually sounded like they talked funny to me. So it's strange the way that accents can develop, and it's really an unconscious thing with language. We simply just unconsciously evolve in our language usage and develop our own personal accent. Okay? But like I said, it's mostly unconscious. But you can consciously choose an accent. You can begin to become comfortable using another accent. And I've started to do this, okay? Because I was interested in accents of certain people like Alan Watts, or Manly P. Hall, or Stewie Griffin, or Dumbledore, or Gandalf, or Jesus in certain English productions. You see, this accent is called the MidAtlantic Accent. Have you ever wondered where Stewie Griffin got his accent from? And why he's the smartest one in the family? Have you ever wondered where Alan Watts got this accent from? It's strangely American yet British, right? It's in between. A lot of the times it's older, rich people that use this accent, right? It's actually popular for actors and actresses and even singers. If you watch The Sound of Music or The Phantom of the Opera, they sing using this accent. And they say that this mid-Atlantic accent is a completely fictitious or made-up accent, right? And essentially what I'm telling you is people have sort of custom created an accent for themselves to use. And when you use this accent, it's just you just sound smarter, okay? Stewie Griffin sounds really smart. Just about anything that he says sounds pretty smart, just because he uses this accent, okay? Now, this accent, though, truly, even though people say it's a fictitious accent, they call it the Mid-Atlantic, and no one is from the Mid-Atlantic. But this accent truly, where I believe it originated from, the type of people that naturally develop this accent are people who spent a lot of time traveling across the Atlantic, right? These are worldly people, cultured people, culturally diverse in their learning, like Alan Watts, like Manly P. Hall. These gentlemen know so much about other cultures of the world, and that's what they do. They travel the world and they gather this information about various cultures and spiritual traditions of the world, and then they bring it back to the Western world, right, where they make sense out of it for the Western world. And somewhere along the way, out of all of their travels, because they have to stop and find a teacher of each of these diverse traditions that they're finding, all of their teachers have different accents, and all of these different accents become assimilated into the individual, and they return to the Western world with this strange accent, right? So that's what this really is. It's the cultured individual, and why they use this in Hollywood is because, or in high society, aristocratic people use this is because it's a showcase. It's a showcase of the fact that you are culturally diverse, that you have had enough free time in your life to perhaps travel the world and learn a lot of things that the average person may not have the time to do, the leisure time to do, like travel the world and learn about spirituality and all of this, right? You have this freedom of time, and that's really what this accent is portraying. But what I want to do is I want to challenge you to use, just for a few days, this Mid-Atlantic accent. Even if you only do it internally, if you only begin to think in this accent, okay? Or if you only begin to practice this accent in your alone time. Spider on me. And the reason why I'm encouraging you to do this is because a strange thing will start to happen. As soon as you begin to use this accent, whether it is mentally, internally, or while you're speaking, verbally using this accent, you will have to slow down your mind. You will have to think about the thoughts that you are thinking. You will have to think about the words that you are using before they just fall out of your mouth. Like when you just use your unconsciously developed accent, it's so easy to just vomit words all over the place. They just fall out so fast. You're trying to keep up with everything, right? So by using this accent, an unfamiliar accent to you, you're having to slow down and become more consciously aware of your thoughts and of your words and the way that you're communicating, the way that they come across. You see all of this, and you'll see that it'll just slow down, and you will come to this place of like wisdom, you know, of peace, of tranquility, of stillness. That's what this voice is. It's a voice of stillness, you know. Anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.